Excel program. How to calculate the net present value using the Excel program. Anyhow, to calculate the net present value using the Excel program, as example, let us say if we have first amounts like 10,000, let's say $10,000, like I have interest gains of $10,000 annually at the end of every year. And I will go now for, and I will use self-built functions directly from the Excel. Now I will say that this 10,000 is coming to me for 5 years. This is another 10,000. This is another 10,000. This is another 10,000. It means that the cash inflow in my business happened every year with the amount of 10,000. This is another 10,000. So I have inflows or cash flow, which is coming into the company. That is 10,000 at the end of the first year, 10,000 at the end of the second year, 10,000 at the end of the third year, 10,000 at the end of the fourth year, and 10,000 at the end of fifth year. Actually, I don't want this now. Let us, if you want to draw it, we can draw it like this. We can draw it by this meaning. Let me show you something. If we want to draw it, you can say like this. So I have now, as example, let us say I will draw a line, insert a line here, smart shapes. I will take a line, that this line goes like this. Then within this line, I have 5 times 10,000. I have 10,000, that is after the, or I have 10,000 here is 10,000 by the end of the first year. Then after that, a little while, there is another 10,000 by the end of the second year. Then we have 10,000 by the end of the third year. This is the end of year number 1. This one is the end of year number 1. This is by the end of the year number 2. This is by the end of the year number 3. And this is by the end of year number 4, another 10,000. And this is by the end of the year number 5, 10,000. And let's say that the interest rate is 5%. What I want to do now is not to calculate this at, I want to calculate this amounts, not here, not a future value, but I want to calculate it here in that moment, right away here, in this place. So what will be the values of this amounts? Now we know that the dollar after 1 year is less than the $1 now. A dollar now can buy things more than the $1 after 1 year. A dollar now in this moment can buy more than the dollar here, because the more we go in time, the less the power, the money power. You hear all this was this, you say as example from 10 years, I used to buy this cheaper than what I am buying it now, the same item. Now it's more expensive. And this means always, this is the nature of the economic, that the money power goes down in almost of the cases. So that's what we are now calculating. Do you think 10,000 after 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 after 5 years is worse 10,000 now? No, it's less than this 10,000 now. So what we want to do just really now is to calculate these 10,000, their amounts in the moment. What the value of those, this like this 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000 plus 10,000, they are 50,000. But this is not 50,000 now. They are not 50,000 now. They are 50,000 after a period of time. After 1 year, 10,000 comes from the 50. Second year, another 10,000 come from the 50. Third year, come another 10,000. The fourth year, come another 10,000 of the 50. And the fifth year comes and come another 50,000 out of the 50. We don't want them in the future. We want them right away, right away. And we will say as example that the interest rate the interest rate is or equals 5%. Let's say 5%. So what I want to do now is getting the NPV, which is net present value. Net present value. That means the amount, the value of those amounts right now. So it means the values of those amounts right now. And this is what I'm going to calculate in this few minutes coming. Okay. I can do this manually using the tables, the financial compound interest financial tables, and I can do this also by using the calculator. Let me show you first how I will do it manually. I can get the net present value manually by this. We have orders for the net present value. I will see the appendixes, just like I showed you exactly in the compound interest rates lectures. We have also, just give me one sec, open this. So this is the first one. This is the second as well. We don't want those both. We will go now to the, takes time to close, that's fine, it's okay. Sorry to take a time like this. So those are the future values of amounts of money, like, but we need the net present value. We need the net present value. It's okay, we can get it as well. No problem. No problem. Here it is, present value table. Like you see here, the present value table. So we say as example, when you go for down 5%, 5% for the first year, it will be 0.952, this amount, 0.952 here, 0.952, this one where the cursor is, 0.9. Okay, that means that $1 after 5 years will be like 95 cents, 0.2 of its value now. Mean it will lose about 4 cents, 0.8 cents. 4.8 cents will be lost of its value. That's after 5 years. Okay. If I say also the same with the same amount, 5%, the second year, it will be 907. Watch out that the numbers are decreasing when you go down. They are decreasing. So you will take the amount, the 10,000 of the first year, and multiply it by 0.952. That's what we will do manually. So if we want to do it manually, the first 10,000, this first amount, for the first amount like this will be times multiplied by times the present value which we saw in the table just now. Let me close this one. We don't need this one anymore. Current table close it. We need this present value. So this amount will be 0.952. 0.952. So I will take it, Control and C, and copy, and put it here, Control and V. It took all this. So okay, I will write it with my hand. 0.952. So that will equals, when I do it with the calculator, Control and C, and go to my calculator here. Then I will multiply it, Control and V, and this will equals, this the amount will be. So if I say this is 100,000, we did it as 100,000, or yeah, 100,000, 100,000. So we'll move on to 100,000. The zero is here, 100,000. Let's say here 100,000, and let's say here 100,000. Perfect. So all of them now are 100,000. So the amount will be 100,000 like this, and the out of this will be 95,000. Then we'll go 95,200. The value of this 100,000 just comes to me 100,000 after 1 year. Its value now is $95,200. So I will go and put it here on the solution, on the manual solution, Control and V. Second amount, the same thing, Control and C, and we'll go back to see what the amount will be. Second year, this is for the first year. This is the second year, Control and V, times also, times. And I will go to the financial tables and see back the 5% within second year, how much it will be. When I look in the tables under 5%, but here this time I will take the second year. So the second year he is under 5% is this number, then I will take this number like this, Control and C, and go back here and multiply it. 0.907, it's okay. 0.907, that's fine. Equals. Then I will take it to the calculator as well. I will take it to the calculator, then multiply directly in the calculator and see the value of it, how much it will be. Control and C. Then I will go to the calculator and say here, CC, and here Control and V, times 1,000, 100,000 times multiply by 100,000. That will give me, what is going on? No problems. Okay, 100,000. Let us say here. Let us say here 100,000 times 0.907. That will equals 9070. Then I will take this number, edit copy, and I will go to the second year and put it as well. And here it will be. So it will be $700,000. This will be for the second year. Third year, the same. And the year number 4 will be the same. And year number 5 will be the same. I will go to C manually. I'm just doing it manually because I do it with the Excel program to check out how is the final situation. Then the third, then the fourth year will do the same progression. Third year will go to the here this for under 5%. We multiply by 0.864. So here also on the third year, it will be 100,000 times or multiplied by, or the number back, the number in the third year, 0.864. Perfect. 0.864. 0.864. Then this will equals, I believe it will be 86,400. 86,400 dollars. When you multiply with each other, this will be the result of your results. So here is the third year. Fourth year as well, you will do the same thing. I will see with the fourth year, this is the 100,000 of the fourth year. And I will see here in the tables, well, after 4 years, then under the number of 5%, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be, 8, or here it will be 0.823. Then I will multiply by 0.823. Here I will go. Control and C for the 4 year, 0.823. That will equals 82,300. 82,300,000 dollars. The fifth year is the same thing. This is the fifth year here. And I also, like I said before, I want to know the value. of this amount at this particular moment now. I don't care about $100,000 after 5 years. I don't care about it. It's after how 5 years, how much it will be. I care about its value at the moment now, because still I'm doing my feasible study. And I want to know its value now, to know exactly the time value of the money. So here now also this 100,000, we'll take it, Control and V, then we multiply by the time. We'll go for the table of the present value for the 50 years with the interest rate of 5%, year number 5, with the interest rate of 5%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0.784, Control and C. Then we'll take it like this here, 0.784. Again, we are in the same problem. It's okay. 0.784. So this will equals 78,400. 78,400. That will be how it looks like after we finish it. So this is in dollars as well. So now we have the amounts of money here. We can take it and add it to each other, Control and C, and put it in the calculator. Control and V, plus, then we will say plus, this need a regular calculator, no problem. A regular one, standard one. Then needs okay. This is 95,200. Control and C. We'll go to our regular calculator. Control and V. Plus. We'll go for plus. Plus. Second one is this one. Control and C. We'll go here to our own, then put it Control and V, plus, go also for plus. The third amount is this amount, Control and C. We'll go to it here also, plus, Control and V, plus the fourth amount is Control and C. We'll go here, plus, and the fifth amount is Control and C, and go to it here. Set plus, Control and V. That equals, all will equals $433,000. $433,000. This was the first part of how I will calculate, because if I add those all together, they will be 95,200, 90,700, 86,400, 82,300, and 78,400. They will all be $433,000. I hope that I did the calculation right. Then now I will go into the, we'll calculate this using spreadsheets. We have 100,000. Let's add 10 here. So it will be 100,000. Then here also 100,000. Then here also 100,000. Then here also 100,000. Then here also 100,000. So all the amounts are 100,000. And now I want to get the built-in function of the present value. I'll get the built-in function of the present value. So I will go to the net present value, or NPV. I will check from the financials. I will go to the financial. Then I will take the NPV value, net present value. Here is the NPV, net present value. So the rate is 5%. We said 5%. And the values is like 100,000 values. We will take the values from, let's say from, this is the span of the values from A1 to, not to B5. I'm sorry about that. We'll take it from A1, okay, to A5. Then we have the values of this, and we'll check out how will be the results. So it is 432,947. So like when you see here, 947 is very approximated. It makes 194 is approximated the second number, which will be like $433,000 when it is rounded. When it's rounded, this is 432, like you see here just now. Like you see here just now, it's 432.974. So this, when we approximate it into the next one, because it's very close to 33, when you round it, it will be $433,000. So it is what we calculated manually. We calculated manually. It came when you saw in the calculator, it was $433,000 because it's rounded. That means we are on the right path. Maybe there is just a little bit difference that it needs just rounding between the net present value, which was calculated on the function, the built-in function, and the one which is calculated with the tables. Those differences is due to the digits which you take after the point, like digits. If I take 4 digits or 5 digits more, that will make no gap or no this small gap between the results or results and between what's here. But this does not mean that we are wrong. We are right. It's 433, and here is 44 in the, on the spreadsheet. When we got the answer, it was 433, and when we did in the Excel, it is 432.947. We approximate this into one. So this, when you round it, it will be 433,000. Same. I said because of the numbers which you take from after the digit. If you take more numbers of the more you take numbers after the digit, it depends on the kind of tables which you are using. If you use, as example, not 3 numbers digits, if you use 6, then most of the manually will be exactly the same, and will be no gap between the manual and the calculated during the net present value functions. So this was about how to use the net present value, the function of the net present value using the Excel. You are not required to do it manually, but actually I discuss it manually, so it will be clear for the students what do we mean by net present value. But you can do this, right? You can do this by the Excel directly, the built-in function. We call it the built-in function, which means it's already inside the Excel on the financial functions. Okay, this was the first example. How about the second example, which is if the amounts of money are different, can I calculate Can I calculate the net present value using Excel? Yes, I can do this. I can do this. Okay, how I will do it then? How I will do this? Well, I can do this is very easily. I can do this as it's shown now. When in another example, I will do another example in front of you. Yeah. We will do another example in front of you right now about if the amounts. Still, I'm telling you, I'm using a table of 3 digits. If it is 6 digits after the decimal point, it will be exactly the same number, 433. But we have 432.97, which we rounded, as I said, and the Excel is more punctual because it takes more digits. Here the table is 3 digits only. This makes this small gap, but in all the cases they are the same. Now, if the amounts were not the same, if the cash flow which is coming to you in your company was not the same, what you will do then? What is the situation and what is the problem and how we will solve this issue? Let us see this example now on using different amounts. If I will use different amounts, or if the inflow or the cash inflow is not the same, what I will do then? What I will be, or what am I supposed to do if the cash flow is different, is not the same from 1 year or differ from 1 year? And this is the nature that the cash flow always, it's having its ups and downs. Sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down. So we have also this problem, how I will fix this problem or how I will deal with actually this problem. Actually, if I have the cash flows are not the same, if the cash flow is not the same, this is not a big deal. Let me go to this example and show it to you right away. Let us say as example that here we had, suppose that the cash flow, this is the cash flow. And here we go. Let us open this for you guys so everybody can see and enlarge like the same way we took it before. We get to enlarge the cells. The cash flow, let us say the cash flow was the first year 100,000. The cash flow for the second year was 200,000. The cash flow for the third year was 250,000. The cash flow for the 1, 2, 3 for the fourth year was 80,000. And the cash flow for the sixth year or the fifth year was, because we made one label, was 120,000. And you want now to do the same thing, but with different numbers. It's not the same numbers as we did before. Also, no problem. I will go for my net present value. And I will see that the rate is 5%. The same, we'll work on the 5%. Then values, I will say the values is from here, from this cell and round away to A6. And I just want to calculate the net present value for this amount. Then the net present value is 652,442 and 73. Let me enlarge the cells. We usually make this and go from here. Here we go. So the total amount will be this amount in front of you, my dears. After the ratio, maybe now it's very large. It's okay. I can narrow it just a little bit. It's okay. Here we go. So the net present value, this is our net present value for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This will be our net present value using the self or the built-in function. So it doesn't matter if the problem is in using different amounts as cash flows, or we are using the same amounts as cash flow. shall leave you now to do this example within 10-15 minutes. So please work on it. I will say here is an example. Let's say that we have calculate the NPV for a project that will generate cash inflow of $150,000 annually for 7 years with interest rate. The interest rate here, of course, is compound interest rate. Is compound interest rate. You can say compound of 10% annually. ANNUALLY. So this is the example which I want you to go through now. And it's saying itself, because like this now, just to let you have the idea, it means that what it means that is you will do the 150,000, you repeat it 7 times. As example here, okay, if you will start solving, you will get a page here, a new page for yourself. You said 100,000. Let me enlarge the, okay. So we have here the first year. So it will yield 150,000, like we said in the example. We said 150,000. Let us see. Yeah, 150,000. So you will go now on book 3. Here we go. 150,000 like this, 150,000, and you will repeat it for 7 years. Then you will calculate. Okay, so this 150,000, and go on also. That we will continue doing this for 7 years, and you have the interest rate of 10% annually. You have the 10% annually, and you calculate, use the built-in net present value function to calculate these amounts. Shall wait for your answers, please. Take your time. Then we will move for something else. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have here about 10 minutes to finish this example. Thank you. Any questions? I'm here. I'm just moving back and forth. So please, if you have any questions, just raise your hand so I will see and I will answer this question. Thank you.